Everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Well, please like on the way in. Gives me an energetic donation to the channel, helps me tune into you. Flip the roles as you see fit. Take what resonates from these collective readings and leave the rest. And let's call in spirit and let's get this party started, shall we? Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of their situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel these messages and protect my beautiful collective. And beautiful, each and every one of you are. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your likes, for your shares, for your subscribes. I so appreciate that. So this is the lunchtime rewind. I don't have a song, but we're going to get started with some Reiki-esque. Let's do it. And if you're not into the Reiki or the Reiki-esque portion of this, you can fast forward. I am not insulted at all. All right, let's do it. Let's get some sweeping of the aura out here. I hope you're having a great day. Sweeping the aura, clearing the energy, your aura energy. Set your intentions for this reading, what you're looking for to achieve. This is going to make some sounds, the sound bowl I have, as well as the nut rattle, the black obsidian. If you have any sound sensitivity, just lower the volume because it can be a little, loud up in here. Okay, so let me do the black obsidian. And this is just to ground and clear and protect the energy. We need that. Going to roll around and make noise. Then what I have is this beautiful selenite stick. I love it. Okay, it's got a little point, so get to the point. Let's get to the point. This is for cleansing, clearing as well. There we go. There we go now. And then over here. Try not to make too much noise. I know I make a lot of noise. I do. All right, so I do have a nut rattle, and that's going to make some sounds. So try to do it light. Clear out the energy, spirit. Clear the energy of the space. Then we're going to do one more thing. No, two more things. We got the black tourmaline for protection. Protect my space. Protect my beautiful collective. Collective readings, right? Any energy, any sign, take what resonates and leave the rest, my friends. And past, present, and future energy is always at play. One more thing, we're going to do my sound bowl to ring the gong and call in spirit. So let's do it. All right, thank you for that. Okay, let's begin. Let's begin this lunchtime rewind. Spirit, my love, please give me a message here. I'm featuring the Graffiti 3, as you can see in front of me. It's a masterful amount of cards. A monster amount of cards is what I meant to say. Like, what is it, 260 or something like that? Oh my God. Crazy, baby. So that's there. Let's see what we got here. Spirit, we're going to start with the tarot. This is literally playing cards, tarot cards. Tarot card playing cards. Amen for that. Temperance. Balance is needed. Balance. Let's start it off with a balancing act. Oh my gosh. The sun. And in numerology, that'll be 5. And 19, 14 could be significant, 19 could be significant. And when you put this here, the sun, it's completion. Something could be coming to an end, or could be coming to completion, spirit. The magician. Maybe something you manifested could be coming to an end. Balance, it's the sun. You needed balance in a certain situation. Yep. Could have been a relationship or a situation where you felt out of control. You didn't have control of the situation. Somebody else did. You allowed somebody else to have control over you. It imbalanced you. Yes, it could be somebody that you had a lot of love for though, because red, the chakras. Yeah, I mean, I think this has something to do with the chakras here. Because the yellow is the solar plexus. The red is the sacral chakra or the root chakra. Yeah, the root chakra is red. So the root chakra, somebody had control of your root chakra. Confirmation, the grounding. You were ungrounded with a person. And this is the solar plexus too. So you felt very out of control in a situation where you felt another person, you gave another person control over you. And then we have blue here as well, which is the throat chakra. You didn't say you didn't tell them your truth, or it's not that you didn't tell them your truth, you let them get away with stuff. You really didn't. You had a lot of love for this person, but you were afraid they were going to leave you. You were a gift to this person, and maybe you didn't see it in yourself. Like in this picture 4 of cups, there's all these cups here, but there's this cup that the divine is showing, and you are that cup, and you didn't see that in yourself. You didn't. And you allowed another person to, because they were good in bed, or they were like, you were sexually connected to them. Not that that's undermining you or blaming you in any way, because it's a powerful energy. When you lay down with a person, the connection is very strong. And that's why people can find it very difficult to disconnect to a person, because even if it's hit it and quit it, these are soul ties that you're attaching yourself to. So when they come back around for thirds, fourths, and fifths, like a buffet, you entertain these individuals and you're not sure why, but once you lay down with a person, there's a soul tie, and it's not an easy one to release. There's some easier than others, but if you really cared about a person and you really connected with them on that level, and also with your heart, it's going to be difficult to disconnect. But there's third parties here. You could have been a part of a third party. You could have allowed a person to diminish you as far as your importance in their life because they had other things, other families. Maybe you celebrated, you kicked it with this person. You drank with this person, and then you laid down with this person. It was one of those Saturday Night Love type of things. You had somebody else, or they had somebody else, and you were willing to be that third party for this person. For some of you. For others, you were in a connection with a person that devalued your importance in their life. And you allowed that. Your throat chakra was closed. You didn't tell them your truth, like, I'm worth something, because you didn't feel that truthfully within yourself. They could have had third parties that they put you through. But look at this, the Tower of Power. And this all came to a crashing halt. Whether it was their decision to walk away from you, or your decision to care enough about yourself to say, fuck this shit, I'm not taking this crap no more. You manifested a change, and it happened. Too many times this person was pouring out your love to other people and filling their cups with whatever energy that you were giving this person, sexual or energetically or otherwise. Maybe it was money as well, that they were celebrating, kicking it with people, buying, right? Everybody loves the one that says it's on me, right? And so it was literally on you. They were using your money, your energy, to build themselves up so that they could party with other people and pour into their cups and not yours. You sat there empty, alone, while this person was out in the streets. No lie. But you were always, a lot of blue here, you were always this person's wish fulfillment. You were the legacy. It wasn't this one, that one, and a third. It was you. But this person couldn't see the blessing you were because they were too busy filling up the cups of other people on your dime and your time. No lie. Very generous. You were always a generous person. But this person was generous with your money. Okay? Yes. You had money, and maybe you are gifted in that way. You bring in money. Financial abundance. This person's being generous and everything else to other people. Maybe even lovers that they entertained. Not you, other people. But you were rooted, Red. You were rooted in this person. You were imbalanced because you were too ungrounded in this person's energy, which is very chaotic. Their energy is chaotic. They are chaotic. And they're not appreciative either of all the stuff that you offered and you gave them. They took it for granted. They took you for granted, and they took this connection for granted. And then there's a Tower. So there's an ending here of all of this. Maybe they went on to find somebody they thought was more prosperous than you, more generous with their time, or easier to manage and deal with. You don't know. We'll find out. But there's a choice that was made. Maybe looking back at all the stuff that you offered this person, you chose yourself and got the hell out of Dodge. Let's find out. Give me a message here. Defining what happened in this love connection, this one-sided love connection is what it's looking like here, where this person was being used by a person for their resources, their energy, and their generosity. So the person liked what you could do for them, but they weren't giving back. There was no equal reciprocity at all in this connection. Maybe looking back at it, the sun illuminated that to you. Somebody did. Spirit, give me a message here. On this Lover's card. What's the Lover's card, Spirit? I think they had third parties, though. That's what I'm thinking. Spirit's like, I'm not telling you, keep shuffling. Baddie. Confident, attractive, independent woman or person who is unapologetically herself. This could be the person that they went towards, a baddie. Somebody that they looked at aesthetically, maybe even like kicked it with this person, drinking and all that stuff. They liked their swag. They liked their swag. They liked that they were, they took care of themselves. You could have been in a connection with a person where maybe you didn't dress like that. Maybe you were very modest in nature. Maybe you were very self-conscious in nature. You could have been a mother or father, energy is energy, and you just dressed like a parent and you didn't dress like that, and they were like, ooh, look at this, look what I'm attracting in. But what they were attracting in was on your energy. You built this person up, so this person was watching them and looking at them and thinking, they're so generous with their money, they're buying all the time, every time they come in this club or this place. And this person was like, I like a guy that or girl that, pays my way. But actually it was you paying their way. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know that at the time, this baddie, but they chose somebody else. Okay, Spirit. Keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, so old school, traditional, classic, choosing substance over trendiness, yearning for the past or realness. So this is you. You are the real deal. Maybe you are old school. Maybe you are older in age as well, or maturity than this person who was out in the streets kicking it with people younger, kicking it with people that were disrespectful is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Pirate. Stealing what's not yours. Living by your own rules. Greed and deception. Persuasive and magnetic. So this could be your person. They're stealing your energy, your money to entertain low-vibing individuals while you're sitting there being loyal at home. Damn. There are a couple more cards here about this pirate energy. Yeah, this person thinks like they're entitled. Belief that one deserves something without having to earn it, imbalance, giving, receiving. So basically, what ended up happening with this pirate energy, okay, is that they ended up choosing a person who's just as low-vibing or just as entitled as they are. So they found a person that thinks they're entitled, that somebody's going to pay their way in life. Your person felt the same way about you. Now they've gotten stuck with their hand in a cookie jar with a person that wants the last cookie too. Good luck with that one. Yeah. A super dodger. Avoidant, sidestepping emotionally hits or conflicts. So consistently avoids harm, drama, or responsibility. So this person is not responsible, does not want to be responsible, is an avoidant in relationships, is a hit it and a quit it, and likes the newness of connections without the responsibility that's attached. Yeah. So they didn't appreciate what you were offering because
They just felt entitled to take what it was you were offering. Thank you very much. But they weren't pouring into anything. It wasn't possible. They weren't capable. Limited edition, you're special. There's only one you. No one else can measure up. Stop comparing your uniqueness. Amen. Amen. You are different. You're old school. You're loyal. This person's not capable of understanding that. You're generous. When your person's generous, there is a ulterior motive behind it. There could have been in-law conflicts if you were married to this person, tension between in-laws, especially over influence, parenting, traditions, or loyalty. So you had a lot of problems in this connection, not just with your person, but with their family. Yep, and yep. So they ended up choosing a baddie, a Sigma. Independent, self-reliant individual, takes control, authoritative, non-conforming. Maybe that's what they thought they were getting. Maybe that's what this person presented them as. But I feel like you're the Sigma. But you are undercover. Yes. While your person's looking for the candy shop, you know what I mean, or the bakery over here, quantity versus quality, volume over depth, chasing more in hopes it fills a deeper void, shallow validation, diluted energy. Yep. They wanted somebody that was aesthetically nice on the inside and very validating to their ego on the outside. And the person that they picked, the baddie, okay, the one that looks like a badass on the outside, the Sigma energy, okay, that filled or fit the bill. But did it? Because now they got a selfish person that's just as bad as they are. Well, you were the gift, the limited edition, confirmation that they could appreciate, didn't see it at the time. They were too entitled. You had to go through so much bullshit with this person who wasn't capable of, giving you anything, and the family on top of it. And then they go around cheating on you with other people. Yeah, with your money, mind you. How generous of them. Yep. You were very generous to this person, and they did not deserve it. Negotiations, finding a middle ground, give and take, compromising, discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. Maybe you're at this point now where you're going to be ending the situation, or this person wants to negotiate staying in your life because now they're on the other side and it's nothing but trouble. Trouble's here. Nothing but trouble, this third party situation. What is it? A polyamorous relationship, mutual consent, and communication. So they're living a non-traditional open lifestyle with somebody else. And you're just like on your way the hell out of here. You're not playing this game with this person. You don't have to. Yes, this is a person that doesn't see boundaries, constantly interrupts, overshares, or blurs personal and professional lines, making others uncomfortable. This is a person that doesn't have space, doesn't give you their space. They're in your space, but they don't give a shit if they're coming into conflict with other relationships, other situations. Your person, maybe you didn't know that about them. They don't care if you're married. They don't care if you're in a relationship with somebody else. They're going to be the third wheel, and they don't give a shit. They're just going to jump in, take what they can, and get the hell out. Yep. And you just like, I'm all set. Maybe you didn't know they were like that. You were so in love with this person, you couldn't see their flaws. All right, let me see. Let's go into... All right, let's go into the... Oh, my goodness. What is this one? The Hero's Journey. All right. Give me a couple of cards here, Spirit, before we go back into the tarot. But no worries. No worries. Things are going to work out. And it may not seem like that right now. Maybe you felt like really low. Your self-esteem was in the toilet for a long time. Maybe this person on social media shows up with their person, all pictures, looking nice, going here, going there, places they never even took you. Looks like they're so proud to have this person on their arm. It's all smoke and mirrors. The whole thing is falling apart like a house of cards. They're not happy with this Sigma. They're not happy with this badass person. They're wishing they were back with you. Because now they're the ones that are having to give, pour into this person, validate this person, make this person's ego feel good, pay for everything, where you were the generous one at one time with them. There's no place like home. I can't make this fucking shit up. Yep. nestle into the sweetness. There's no place like home. This person didn't appreciate the life that they had until it was gone. They didn't. They didn't see the value in it, and now it's gone. They're wishing the hell that they would have watered where they lived instead of everywhere else. One more card, Spirit, please, if you can, out of this deck. One more card about this situation, please, Spirit. And now you're moved on. You're done moved on. You know what? You got to appreciate the lesson sometimes. Even if they hurt, even if they break your fucking heart. Because this person made you the strong individual that you are today. And it may feel like, yeah, small consolation. I lost my family, lost this life. Yes, but what was it really that you had if it was so easily lost or easily dismissed by another person? Think about it. Be real. If it was so fucking great, why did this person run? Why did this person move away? And it's not you that I'm speaking about. Confirmation. I'm not blaming you like you could have done more. But you are under this delusion and illusion that this was greater than it was because it wasn't reciprocated, my love. No matter what you did for this person, they were never going to appreciate you the way you deserved. The thin, thin veil. Let go and let glow. Exactly. And be real. This connection ended because it needed to end. It was a lesson. It was not forever. It was not meant to stay. This person was not meant to stay. They were meant to come in, teach you a lesson about self-worth so that you could look at yourself like a badass, like you are, like the special person that you are, like the generous human that you are, and that you deserved a fucking lot better than this, the fucking crumbs they were throwing at you on the floor after they filled other people's plates with a buffet. Okay? Bottom line. This person was a user. They were using you, and they were using this connection to gain clout somewhere else. They were living off of your energy. And once they got what they wanted or thought they were going to get better, they took off. They took off with this person. This person bamboozled them into thinking that they were going to get better than you. They were better than you. This person, this karmic they're with. And it's not better. It's a shit show. Hang on, before I go into graffiti, let's go into the last cards of the tarot. All right, Spirit, give me some more messages here, but you gotta think about this. Everything in this world that we go through, all these challenges, it's not for nothing, and it's also to better us. We go through these bullshit situations that we don't understand how we got into this mess in the first place, but in the end, there's a lesson there. There's a lesson in every situation, and nothing happens for nothing. There's no such thing as coincidence. There isn't. Spirit, give me some more messages on what is happening now in the situation with the karmic connection. Give me some messages, please, about that. Reveal what's happening behind the scenes to my viewer, please. Yeah, Knight of Swords. This person is guarded. This person is finding out the truth about their choices, confirmation, okay? Seven of Pentacles, they're struggling financially because all of that money that you gave them is gone. And now, because they had to spend it and keep spending it to keep this person. And they're like, they got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Three of Swords. Look at this heartbreak. This person's heartbroken. Because the relationship could be over between them and the karmic. Past, present, and future energy is always at play. And if it isn't, this person recognizes the gift that you were, and that they just pissed away the greatest gift that they're ever going to get in this lifetime. They're never going to have another chance at you again. Yeah. Five of Swords. And they're blocked. Not only are they not going to get another chance at you again, they're also blocked from your energy. And Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. A lot of swords here. A lot of blocked energy and a lot of, truth and clarity. They're getting into the dark night of the soul, if they haven't already hit that. That they're no longer in your energy. And they're feeling the effects of not being next to you. I think this is, 5, 6, 7 of Swords. Let me look. I'm putting glasses on here. Yeah. 7 of Swords. Look at all the blocked energy. 5 of Swords is like conflicts. They're having conflicts with the karmic. Maybe arguments and fights because they're not having as much money. Like, why don't you know what I mean? This karmic wants them to work for them. Give me more money. Okay? Every rose has its thorn, man. They thought they were like water in a garden that was abundant, and all it was thorns and thickets. It looked good, but it was a weed that should have been pulled. Seven of Swords, competition. Maybe this comic puts them in competition with other people. Yeah, makes them feel like they're in lack. Makes them feel like they're not the man or the woman anymore. Like, what have you done for me lately? Basically, confirmation. That's what they say to them. Yeah, and they feel less than because of it too. When you were always so generous and loving and beautiful to them and making them feel like they were 10 feet tall, this person makes them feel like 2 feet, maybe 2 inches tall. Yeah, the Emperor. Yep. This could be a person in the Emperor energy, or there could be an Emperor that's coming towards you. Yeah, there could be somebody coming towards you that's going to offer you equal reciprocity. Knight of Pentacles is here as well, a slow-moving knight. I feel like they could be the Knight of Pentacles, but they're not. The slow-moving, they're undecided as to what to do. They're like stuck, trapped, and not sure if they could come back to you. So they're like in their head right now. The Chariot is moving you forward. 7 is significant in this reading. So I think it's moving you away from this Knight of Pentacles and towards your Emperor. The Sun here is, again, 10, completion. Yeah. This is over between the two of you. Yeah, I feel like you know it's over with. And you could be moved on with somebody else. 5 of Cups is here. A lot of emotions. A lot of... 5 of Cups. They feel empty inside. Cups of Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. This person knows they did you dirty. They know they didn't pour into you. And now their cups are empty. And nobody's pouring into them. And I feel like with this time period of separation, they're being illuminated that you were the one that was always the rock in the connection. You were the one that was the loving and beautiful person that made them feel like they were an emperor, confirmation. And they didn't do that for you. And I feel like they feel guilty about that now. The Hierophant, you could have been married to this person. Maybe they felt that was, you know what I mean? Like that was enough. Like they married you and they gave you that title so that, why you like, that should have been enough, but it wasn't. They felt like that was enough to keep you with them. Even if you had kids with this person, they thought you would always be there, pouring into them like you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. And they're trapped in their head. They're seeing the value of you now that you're on the other side of it. Okay? They put you in third-party situations. They embarrassed you. They embarrassed themselves. They realize that now. They didn't pour into you, and they're getting the repercussions of that currently. They're seeing all of this now in your absence. Okay? So let's finish it up. Let's go towards a couple more cards, Spirit. Going to happen here in this situation, and you're pouring into yourself, and that's going to lead you to your success. The Chariot's going to move for you. Your blessings are ahead of you because you are a blessed person. Spirit, confirm and deny that, please. Give me a few more cards about this situation, Spirit, for this viewer. What's going to happen in their situation? Thank you. Warning. Stay away from this person, be careful, and take extra precautions. Sudden death or major world event. Damn, what the fuck is this about? What the hell? Oh my God, Spirit. Says, passion project, hot work, not hard work, fueled by love, not just labor. Needs time to bloom, guide to your inner truth. You need time to heal from this person, okay? Because they're like a walking warning sign, basically. Bitter victory. Didn't win anything, but still feel like they gained emotionally from somebody else's loss. So this could be the person, not only your person, but it could be the karmic. Yes. Intergenerational conflicts. Fight over values, inheritance, or identity. Battle between past and future. Fear becoming irrelevant or unseen. So this could be a person that's using your children as well. Fighting as far as like for custody, or fighting as far as like turning the children against you because they feel like you're not listening to them, there's a warning sign. Yeah, persistent problem. Person, thing, or idea that will not go away easily, needs deep inner healing, unshakable without force. I mean, they're trying to stay relevant in your life. They want to give this another chance, but it's, and the karmic thinks this is a bit of a victory because they got themselves a prize, or they got them away from you. But it's all like smoke and mirrors because they're not happy. It's a bit of victory. Now they're having all kinds of problems, maybe even plumbing problems in their damn house. But it's like they're trying to turn your kids against you or fight for custody. It's a warning. Stay away from this person because it's not good for your soul. It's not good for your heart, and it's going to tear you up and take away your peace. That's what they want. They want you back in their life so that they can feed off of you. It sounds disgusting, but it's true. Bed rotting. Spending extended periods of time in bed as a form of self-care or rebellion, wasting time and doing nothing. This is your person. Depressed and overthinking, and they don't care. Yep. And you're just moving forward. You're like moving forward in your life, living your best life, healing from what this person said and did, trying to repair relationships that might be being toxified from this person. Yeah. What is it? An assimilationist. Person of color who distances themselves from the culture to gain favor or status within the dominant, often white culture. Never seen that guy before. If they are of color, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're with people of not. Maybe they're in a white community and turning against their own culture. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. So that might be for somebody. Bad review, not being seen clearly, negative feedback, public humiliation, rejection, or disapproval, wounded ego. This person feels embarrassed in their community because of this broken family, of the contribution that they did to this broken family, and now in the outskirts of the broken family, what has happened? You're glowing and they're like falling apart. People know it's not you. People know it's not you. Blackballed. Ostracized or excluded from a group due to disapproval or negative actions, intentionally shut out. They tried to do that to you. Maybe online, digitally, making you feel like you don't belong, making them, talking negative about you to other people, making them not like you. Could have started in the family and now working their way to communities. Yeah, any other card, Spirit? Take what resonates. If it doesn't fit, then... But I feel like this person's, it's just like, what is it called? Like, it's not bad. It's like bad blood in a sense, but it's also like jealousy because they wanted to continue to feed off of you. They wanted to continue to live off of your hard work and your energy, and they can't anymore. And so now they're trying to make you look like the bad guy, basically. Desensitized, gradual emotional numbing or spiritual disconnection, survival mode, limiting feelings or connection. This is your person. They're trying to live in denial, like everything's going great in their life. They don't need you. You're shining bright like a diamond. You don't need this person, okay? Regardless of what they did, the freaky deek between the sheets, or what they, try to present as this wonderful, idyllic life that they gave you that you wouldn't have had without them. You were the one that was footing the bill, supporting the family, and being the foundation. And now it's all crumbling, and this person is like trying to save face with their neighbors, their friends, their family by bad-mouthing you. If they're of a different culture and they've turned against their culture to turn towards other people of white culture, acting like, they don't even know you anymore, that could be for somebody. And they've turned against their family, meaning their immediate family, you and the children, to just go towards a person of like a white culture, and they don't even acknowledge you anymore. And now it's like you're picking up the pieces of your life, having to live your life in this. They wanted to ostracize you and make you look like the person that was the problem when it was really them. So it's a bit of victory because they're not going to be happy, and they're not happy, and that's why they're doing it. So you just keep going, keep glowing. You're going to be fine. Okay? They are a persistent problem because they're going to want, visitation just to stay in your life. They're going to call you constantly or text you to try to be relevant, try to get in your good graces. They'll have moments of, you know, they'll be good to you and I'll be helpful and everything. And then there'll be moments of salty and bitterness. You're going to have to go through it. It's like the stages of loss, basically. It's the stages of loss. This person's going to have to move on with their life like you had to pick up the pieces and do for yourself. But you are on the other side shining bright and you have a wonderful future. Just keep moving forward, my friend. Despite the challenges, you are stronger than you think. You can handle it. You can handle this. Thank you so much for joining me on Empress Aries 888. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe because I'd love to have you. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.